Going to get started in about 3 to 5 minutes. If I could also have the resource tables take a seat, as we won't open them towards the last half an hour. Again, please go ahead and take a seat. We're going to get started in about 3 to 5 minutes. Thank you.
Rocking around Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop. Mistletoe hung, dancing, every couple tries to stop. Rocking around Christmas tree, let the Christmas spirit ring. Let it fly, fly,
Right. But the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Man, it doesn't show signs of stopping. And I brought me some corn for Papa. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow. When we finally kiss goodnight, how I'll hate going out in the storm. But if you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. And the fire is slowly dying. And my dear, we're still goodbye. But as long as you love me so, let it snow and snow. When we finally kiss goodnight, how I'll hate going out in the storm. But if you really grab me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. Oh, the fire is slowly dying, and my dear, we're still goodbye. But as long as you love me so, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
for joining us tonight. If everyone can please find their seats. It is my great pleasure to be here. My name is Sarah Solorzano. I'm field representative for Congressman Dr. Raul Ruiz, based in his Imperial Valley District Office. What I will do next is, let me go over some groundkeeping rules. So we do have the restrooms here. I'm gonna ask you all to silence your phones. And the back, we have some water, coffee, so help yourselves. And at this time, I'll go ahead and introduce our MC for the night, Mr. Ernesto Rueda, CHP captain. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. My name is Ernesto Ruedas. I am the captain of the California Highway Patrol area in El Centro, and I'll be your MC for tonight. On behalf of Congressman Dr. Raul Ruiz, I want to thank you all for being here this evening. Before we get started, please take a moment to silence your cell phones, as Sara said, and please refrain from taking any phone calls. If you need to take a call, please step outside. Inside your folders, you will find tonight's agenda and information on Dr. Ruiz's work in Congress fighting for veterans. If you did not receive a folder, please see one of the staff members during the break. Throughout the evening, if you have any questions, please ask any of the individuals waving their hands. You guys can look around. Congressman Ruiz will be available after tonight's program, meet attendees, and for photographs, so please be sure to stick around. Once again, welcome to Veterans University, and on behalf of Congressman Dr. Raul Ruiz and his staff, we thank you for attending. As you can tell, I was asked, because I was in the service as well, by this haircut. I was in the Marine Corps, so I got it fresh this morning, sir. Wanted to look sharp for you guys, but so we'll get the program started. Okay, if you guys can welcome, please, Agustin Saldaña.
Ready, get everybody to stand. I was asked to do the invocation. Was asked if I had a speech. I don't think it requires a speech. We're grateful for everything that we have as it is. Let us pray. Father God, bless us all and guide us in whatever it is you decide to do with us. It's a privilege to be here today. Continue doing your will, upon us. We have a tradition in the VFW that we try to call out some of our members, the brothers and sisters that passed away, that we remember. So we always remember them, so they're never really gone. So I invite any of you, if you have a deceased veteran, if you want to call out their name, Frank Gutierrez, Eric Silva, Alfred Gregory, Vivencio Banta, Sam Palomares. Yeah, and Father God, if we didn't remember all of them, keep them in our prayers, keep those still serving in our prayers. Amen.
Thank you, Agustin, for that invocation. Please remain standing for the presentation of the colors presented by the Brawley Police Department. Please remain standing for the national anthem, sang by Sarah Benavides.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight last gleaming, whose bright broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that I'm still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave?
Can we have JJ Galvan, the mayor of Brawley, please come up for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Good evening. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin. A nation under indivisible with liberty and justice. Thank you.
All right, guys, you may be seated. Let's give it up for the Raleigh Police Department Honor Guard. Hey, before we get started, I want to apologize to some of you. I know some of you guys were stuck behind a crash on the 86 coming up here. Uh, Partially my fault. I was there blocking the lanes and not allowing people to go. But it was anyway. So on my way here, I encountered it, and I had to get out and do some patrol work. Okay, now I have the honor of introducing your host for Veterans University, Congressman Dr. Raul Ruiz. Dr. Ruiz has been serving our community for his entire adult life. As a former physician and now a congressman, he has spent his career caring for those in need in some of the most critical moments in their lives. Today, Congressman Ruiz continues his service in Washington, where he has made veterans' health, benefits, and well-being a top priority. From improving access to VA care to championing legislation like the Mayor Richard Starr Act and the PACT Act, he fights every day to ensure our veterans receive the recognition, care, and support they deserve. So please help me in welcoming Congressman Raul Ruiz.
Good morning, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody, for taking time out of your busy schedules and joining us as a community so that we can celebrate Veterans University and build the community that our veterans deserve. I want to thank you all once again. It's inspiring to see so many veterans, families, caregivers, and community partners gather to honor and support our nation's heroes. I want to thank our MC. Give it up for CHP Captain Ernesto Ruedas. veteran champion who works tirelessly for veterans and gives of himself so much, Agustin Saldana, for the invocation. Thank you. The Brawley Police Department Color Guard. Give it up for them. And Sarah Benavides for the national anthem, and Mayor J.J. Galvan for leading the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you so much. And thank you to the Hidalgo Hall Society for allowing us to use their facility for this year's Veterans University. A heartfelt thanks to all the organizers, the volunteers, the veteran service organizations that have tables here who made today possible. Your dedication ensures that veterans and their families have access to the resources, the support, the care, and the community that they deserve. I also want to thank my staff. You all know it's the staff that dot the I's, cross the T's, get things together. So will my staff raise your hand? Raise your hand. I mean, these guys are exceptional. They come in weekends, weeknights, and put what the energy and effort that it takes to serve our communities, because they have a servant's heart with a lion's roar, and people that want to come out and really do good for our local communities. And most importantly, I want to thank all of you, our veterans, service members, and your families. Thank you for your service and sacrifice. I always say many of you fought for my freedoms, my liberties, before I was even born. So I want to thank you for that, because we're all tied by a common fabric, and that's our American flag and the ideals and the Constitution of what it stands for. And so I want to appreciate that, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of your sacrifices that you made. And some and individuals that really have a special place in my heart is the spouses today. The moms, the family, the spouses. Can you raise your hands, please? Raise your hands, all the spouses. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I say that with cariño, with affection, because I have two uncles. I have several that have served in the military, but two uncles in particular that served in the Vietnam War. And one of them, my Uncle Art, has passed away. And it was my tia Yermina who would nurture him and guide him and bring him back. And there's times where I would stay up late with my primo to listen to a story. After a couple of beers, he would get animated and really talk about the things that he did in Vietnam. And some of the stuff he probably shouldn't have told us as kids, but we were enthralled by his service, his dedication, his discipline, until my tia would come out and say, yeah, yeah, yeah. They would say, they so I appreciate you saying that. And we may have disagreements, which, I think if you would pay attention, I'm not in support of any future war in Venezuela. Let's just put it that way. But on some of the things and tactics and things that he says, we may disagree, but all of you fought for his right to say that. And all of you fought for his right to voice his concerns and his opinions, and I will fight for that right and protect that right as well, because that's what makes us America. So, look, my tia would come in and tell us that's enough, go to bed, and we'd go to bed. But it's spouses who, again, take care of the veteran when they come home. It's spouses, sometimes the mothers, who come in seeking information to help their spouse or their child who's in the service or who have served as veterans in order to help them with benefits, education, housing, or whatnot. And that's what Veteran University is about. Veterans University is built on a powerful belief that when we come together as a community, we can transform the lives of our veterans and our veterans communities. That we don't have to wait for an act of Congress or Congress to get their act together for us here locally to advocate for one another and protect our rights and protect the benefits and bring as much benefits as we can here locally. Now, over the years, this event has helped countless of veterans, over thousands, to get the health care, benefits, and support they have earned, thanks to strong partnerships with the VA, community advocates, and all of you. We've connected veterans with mental health services, secured benefits, and supported families through difficult times. And we'll keep fighting until every veteran receives the care and dignity that they have, that they deserve. So one of the things that we got done together as a community, and when I say together, I'm also including all the veterans that I've served from when before I represented the Imperial Valley. We got the PACT Act done. I don't know if you all know the PACT Act, the largest expansion of health care for veterans in decades. We got that done. And I'll tell you the story how we got that done. I was made aware of Jennifer Kepner, who was an Air Force medic who was dying of pancreatic cancer. She had her port for chemotherapy. She lost her hair. And I went to her home in Cathedral City. And she told me that she was denied health care because she was saying that she got pancreatic cancer from the burn pits, inhaling burn pits from Iraq and Afghanistan. The smoke, they used to burn plastics and jet fuel and all of that. And she made me promise two things. When she was dying, she made me promise to ensure that other veterans don't go through what she went through. And she made me promise to help her widow, her future widow, her husband, get the benefits for her children. And even in her deathbed, she was thinking of all of you. She was thinking of other, it's the same dedication and servant's heart that Augie and others in this room have dedicated their lives in doing and serving one another. And that is so inspiring. And so I promised her that. And after 6 years of gruesome fighting the VA and the Department of Defense, I introduced a bill that became the framework of the PACT Act that gave over 300 illnesses presumptive benefits for their association with burn pits, because Jennifer Kepner said that burn pits was the Agent Orange of our generation. And so we fought hard and we expanded the benefits for individuals that were also exposed to Agent Orange, 4 illnesses and 4 new locations, in order to expand the care for our Vietnam veterans under the most comprehensive toxic exposure benefit bill in our nation's history. And we got that done, started here in our desert, started here with a real story. And we got it done, I got it done with a lot of support from local veterans and other VSOs, and got President Biden to sign it into law. And I told him, before he even ran to be president, I said, Mr. Vice President, your son, Beau Biden, served in Balad Air Force Base where Jennifer Kepner served. Your son died of brain cancer, most likely due to your burn pits exposure. And I'm going to tell you something, when you become president, you're going to be the president to get it done. And we did. We got it done. And because of that, more than 4,500 PACT Act claims have already been filed in California's 25th Congressional District. So building on that momentum, building on that success, we have another frontier. We have another fight, another injustice to correct. And that injustice is that many of our veterans are not receiving their retirement benefits. They're being penalized if they've served less than 20 years. They cannot receive their retirement benefits if they are receiving combat-related injury disability benefits. Can you believe that? Two different benefits. They've earned their retirement. They've earned and need their benefits from their combat-related disability, and they're getting penalized. They can't get their retirement because they're drawing from their disability, especially those served less than 20 years. So we're correcting that with the Major Richard Starr Act. So it's a bipartisan bill. It was introduced by Republican Gus Bilirakis, a friend of mine. Yes, the bipartisan still exists. And I'm the lead Democrat. Together we introduced it, and we're fighting hard to rectify this wrong for our veterans together. And you're going to have a presentation about that later today because it's wrong and we need to fix it. So, one of the things that I'm very proud of doing during Veterans University is to honor and recognize truly remarkable community leaders who are also veterans. And so today, we're honoring Esther Frias. Want to come up? Here. So Esther, and I talked, and she talked to Sara, my team, and provided a lot of the information, and I just found it very remarkable. She's a combat veteran and a survivor who has faced immense challenges, right? From military trauma to homelessness, addiction, and the tough responsibility of raising a child. But her story is also one of incredible resilience and leadership. With the support of the VA's HUD-VASH program, Esther found stability, healing, and since then she has dedicated herself to serving veterans throughout Imperial County and beyond. Esther is the CEO of Vet Connect, a beacon of hope providing mental health support, educational workshops, wellness programs, and essential services like meals and grocery assistance to vulnerable veterans. She also serves as the first vice commander of the American Legion District, commander of the American Legion Post 25, and is an active member of the VFW. Her pioneering work helped establish the Imperial Valley College Military and Veteran Success Center, advocating for veterans on campus nearly 2 decades ago. And Esther's mission is clear. No veteran or family member should ever face their battles alone. Through her leadership and compassion, she is building a stronger, more supportive community for all veterans. So today, on behalf of a grateful community, I am proud to present this American flag that was flown over the Capitol in her honor for Esther's service and tireless advocacy. And so may this flag remind us all of the strength, honor, and dedication that she represents. So as we begin today's program, I hope each of you finds the information, resources, and connections you need, whether it's mental health care, benefits assistance, housing resources, or simply community. You are not alone. We're here to help. We're here to serve. And together we will continue to honor our veterans with meaningful actions, not just words. And I want to point out, again, the incredible tables with information. Please stop by. My staff is out there in that corner. So if you have issues with delays in your claims, with any kind of denials and want to appeal them, come to us. We're here to serve you, and it's the honor of our life to do so. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Congressman. Quick shout out. You guys reacted extremely well. If you guys remember last year, the reaction from the veterans wasn't super well done. So I think you guys did amazing. So thank you for that. Makes our job a lot easier. Please welcome our virtual guest representing the Wounded Warrior Project and speaking about Mayor Richard Starr, Vice President of Government and Community Relations, Jose Ramos.
Jose, can you hear us?
Perfect.
Awesome.
Good afternoon, and I hope everyone can hear me okay. I first want to say, Esther, congratulations on the well-deserved recognition. It's always impressive and amazing to hear stories of veterans who have gone through a journey and frankly come out on the other end, just proving why they're so resilient. So again, congratulations. And it really is an honor to be here with everybody today, particularly um, joining you, Representative Reese. We have the pleasure to work with Representative Reese here in Washington, D.C. as the introducer mentioned. My name is Jose Ramos. I'm the Vice President for Government and Community Relations at Wounded Warrior Project. But I live out of Washington, D.C. or Northern Virginia. However, I spent some time, or all my time, stationed out of Camp Pendleton with 1st MART Division. I was a Navy corpsman and did some time in Joshua Tree. So your area is extremely impactful and meaningful to me. What I am going to spend some time today is talk a little bit about an issue that Representative Reese just spoke about, and I'm going to share some slides here, so hopefully everyone can see them fairly well. But it's called the Major Richard Starr Act, and hopefully you see it in presentation mode. And if you don't, I apologize, but I'll make sure that these get sent out to Representative Reese so you guys can have them. But as Representative Reese said, a lot of great work has been done on Capitol Hill to fight for issues that impact the lives of not one, two, but millions of veterans. And the PACT Act was a good example of that. But as we make success or have success in one issue, we always find ourselves fighting for a different issue. And this one is near and dear to a lot of the folks, particularly those stationed out of 1st MART Division with me, combat veterans. This bill itself, the Richard Starr Act, is trying to really solve a problem that is impacting veterans who are forced to medically retire as a result of their combat-related injuries, whether it be downrange and or training for combat. Right, as everybody knows, when you sustain significant injuries, you've got two options: get better or get out. And for those whose injuries are significant enough, they are medically retired. So there are about 54,000 combat medically retired service members in our country. Out of the last 20 years of war, over close to 4 million service members have participated. And out of those 4 million, 54,000 have been medically retired due to combat related injuries. And I want to highlight those two numbers just to provide a good picture of kind of the small portion of the totality, because when I get to a later part of the portion on what the pushback is, I want everybody to really understand that we're talking about a small portion of millions of people who have served during the 20-year war. Now, what the challenge is current law prohibits anybody to receive concurrent pay or concurrent receipt, as they call it. So meaning you can't receive both your DOD compensation and your VA compensation concurrently at the same time, right? As it stands today, only service members with 20 or more years of service who have a 50% disability rating or higher are eligible to receive both their DOD retirement pay as well as their VA compensation. So anyone who did not meet 20 years of service regardless of how they or regardless of why they were retired, is unable to receive both their DOD retirement and VA disability. There's a dollar for dollar offset, right? So for every dollar that you get from VA, if you are eligible for for DOD retirement pay, for every dollar you get from VA, that dollar is subtracted from your DOD retirement pay. So you lose a dollar for every single dollar that you technically should have on your DOD side of the house. And frankly, what it amounts to is what we call an unfair wounded veteran tax. We are taxing those individuals who have sustained significant injuries defending our country, frankly, unjustly, for the sacrifices and services they've made, right? Again, as I indicated earlier, there's nearly nearly 1 million veterans who have received or who are eligible to receive both their retirement pay and their VA disability compensation. But the only way to do that is to have been in service for 20 or more years and have a 50% disability injury, which means that those 54,000 who were medically retired, so again, retired for combat-related injuries, are losing their retirement pay just because of the fact that they were severely injured. So what's the solution? Well, Representative Reese talked about the solution that he's proposing himself, introducing a piece of legislation with Representative Bilirakis, and they've done so for multiple years now. They've led this fight for the community for multiple years, have introduced the Major Richard Starr Act. This year, it's HR 2102, and then on the Senate side, the companion is S 1032. And this bill, frankly, simply ends an unjust tax on wounded veterans. So in order to be eligible for the benefit of the Richard Starr Act, one, you have to be medically retired due to combat or combat-related injuries, as well as eligible for combat-related specialty compensation. So again, it's a small pool. There's about 54,000 veterans who meet that criteria, and this bill doesn't make a veteran pick one or the other. It lets them choose what's more beneficial for them as it relates to their compensation. Now, you might be asking yourself, why isn't this getting done? And I'll talk to you how much support exists, but why isn't it getting done? What we hear generally publicly is, one, because veterans are double dipping, or they're trying to receive two benefits for the same thing. And the reality is that that's not true. Congress has designated DOD retirement pay as a benefit earned for service rendered to the armed forces, and then VA disability compensation as a benefit earned due to loss of income or injury sustained while in service. So two very distinct reasons for why those two compensations exist. And frankly, shows that this double dipping is not factual. It's just a myth, something that people throw around to try to stall or take the conversation off the table. Then we hear that the bill is too expensive, right? The bill itself is, projected to cost around $8 billion over the next 10 years. So 8 billion, 10 years sounds like a lot, but if you were to look at the actual money spent on 1 year's Department of Defense budget, last year alone was $852 billion. So we're talking about 0.1% of the entire 1 year budget. So again, bill being too expensive doesn't hold water here. Then we hear that the bill will actually have no meaningful impact, right? Well, it's, veterans aren't really going to make a lot of money. Well, I can tell you that the reality is, for veterans impacted by this, they could potentially receive, on the average, approximately around $1,200 per month. So Think about what $1,200 a month gets you where you live today, and what it can do for you as it relates to groceries, gas, food, rent, whatever the case may be. It's actually a substantial amount of money that can help a family transition from just barely making it to being able to save a little bit and then succeed later in life. And the last thing we often hear is that it's not the right time for new benefits. And the reality is that this is not a new benefit, right? If this law passes and when it's signed into law, it frankly just fixes a problem that was created in 2004, where Congress allowed for those with 20 plus years and 50% disabilities to get both their compensations, and frankly probably didn't foresee that there were going to be a lot of combat disabled medically retired individuals and left them out of the equation. So frankly, what this really does is fixes a wrong, and it's not necessarily creating a new benefit. So with that, I'll talk about where we are today. Thanks to Representative Lisa's leadership, we have well over 300 co-sponsors in the House. So that's 313, and then about 76 co-sponsors in the Senate. So well over 400 individual members of Congress on Capitol Hill supporting this bill. On the Senate side, we have Senator Blumenthal and Mike Crapo supporting this. Obviously, we're pretty close, and you would think to yourself, well, why can't we get it done if everybody supports it? And again, it goes back to those myths and facts that we just discussed. So the question really is, what can I do for those sitting there? What is it that I can do to get involved or to help out? And that's kind of what leads me to the last slide, which is, we ask for your help. Get involved. Obviously, you're a member of Congress. Representative Reese is leading the charge here. So you're not going to convince somebody who's already convinced and frankly leading the charge to do something. But what you can do is talk to your fellow veterans, talk to your friends, talk to your families, and ask them to get involved. Ask them to ask their members of Congress to bring this measure up for a vote, to include it in the National Defense Authorization. Doesn't matter how they do it, just do it, right? Send letters, make phone calls, tell friends. That's the best way and the easiest way you can get involved. We have a link up there, but to be very honest, this is a priority for just about every single veteran service organization and military service organization. So if you're a member of DAV, a member of the Legion, a member of MOA, you can just as easily go to their web pages, take action, and send your member and ask your friends to send your members a letter asking them to finally bring the Major Richard Starr Act to the floor for a vote. So with that, I do want to again thank you, Representative Reese, for your leadership on this. If you guys didn't see, he created a really great video. He was one of the first to actually put a poster outside his DC office saying, I support the Richard Starr Act, and that's something that we're getting every single member's office to do. Our goal is to keep this at the forefront until we get it done, and we couldn't think of a better partner and a better friend to help us than yourself, Representative Reese. So with that, any questions anybody might have, happy to answer them, or you're welcome to give it to the staff who can send them to us, or I'm sure his office can answer just as well.
Thank you, Jose, for those important remarks and for honoring Major Starr. And now please join me in welcoming David Hernandez, Imperial County Veteran Service Officer, who will present on the VA benefits, also a veteran of the United States Marine Corps. Hoorah. David, happens to be a good buddy of mine.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you again for being here. Thank you, Congressman Reese, for having us and for coming down here also. David Hernandez, Veteran Service Officer here at Veteran Service Office, Imperial County. I've been here approximately 1 year, 3 months at that position and happy to be there. I wanted to start off with a little bit of myself for those that are not too familiar with who I am, what I do, what I've done. I'm a Marine Corps veteran, served in the 90s, a little way ago. And why I say this is because when I left the Marine Corps, I did not want to have too much to do with the life anymore. Okay, and I've noticed that a lot of veterans that I served with got married, and they wanted to kind of try to put that behind us. Great times, love the Marine Corps, wouldn't change it, but I just wanted to be a family man. And I've noticed that a lot of veterans in Imperial County kind of shared the same sentiment, kind of felt the same way. They wanted to start their family, and they kind of pushed the way of the family, of the veteran family. And to this day, I look back and I wish I would have been a little bit closer to my brothers and sisters. And I thank you all for coming here today and being with us, brothers and sisters, for this time. I also want to say that I lost touch of the benefits that were available to us, to the services that were available to us. Back then, before the internet was really big, it was word of mouth. And not being with your brothers and sisters, you forget. You don't understand. You don't know which way to go. So now we have all kinds of services and support, that we really don't know what to do with anymore. And I feel really grateful that we have that opportunity now as service members, as veterans. So I ask that if you have a friend, if you have a brother, you have a sister, you have an uncle, whomever it may be that served or is looking to serve, encourage them to do their service and come back and talk to their brothers and sisters, share the story, and seek their benefits, seek the support. Wish them welcome home. We're here to help you. To all my Vietnam veteran brothers and sisters out there, welcome home. I also wanted to go through some things that I feel very happy to share with y'all. And Congressman Reese, thank you for your support with the PACT Act. And we've seen great flood of new benefits, support for our veterans, a lot more veterans coming through our doors here in Imperial County's Veteran Service Office. And we're happy to see that. We're happy to see that the word is getting out. People that I went to high school are now asking about, hey, how can I get some help also? Okay? When I came out of the Marine Corps 30 years ago, approximately, wow, I'm quick. I didn't know where to turn. And I met this young lady, you all may know her, her name's Lorena, okay? And she helped me with my first claim. And now I have, the great privilege to work in the same office with her. And now, I work with her, and she's my senior representative there, and I'm happy to be able to go over things that may help somebody else. And again, back then, I knew nothing about it, and now, years later, I have gone from 10% to up here with the help of, Lorena teaching me, helping me, and understanding how things work, okay? So you may want to keep things inside of you. You may want to keep things low and try to forget, but everybody knows as we get a little bit older, things start to hurt a little bit more, and things start to change. So with that, I wanted to go over some key changes or some key benefits that we had in the year 2025, okay? So first of all, we had expanded healthcare eligibility under PACT Act, okay? So now we have exposures, okay? We are seeing more and more cases of exposure, whether it's be from Agent Orange to burn pits to water that was being given to us in Camp Lejeune, or wherever it may be, God forbid, where I've served in El Toro or Camp Pendleton one day. So we're seeing more and more things coming up So these are coming through our doors, and the PACT Act is helping us give these service members more assistance, more help to be able to see what it is that they need help with. Most of the times, these cases are being taken care of, they're being helped, and they're being awarded, okay? We see a very good rate. It's one of those things that we're happy to see the veteran being helped, but at the same time, we hate to get these coming through our door because you know where I'm going with that. The second of all is the surge in benefits claim granted. We've seen a little bit of slowdown lately because of the shutdown. Thank God everything got settled down for now and we're moving forward, but the VA still worked on cases. We still worked on cases. Actually, we worked on a lot of cases, you know, during the shutdown. We were still pushing them through. Most of them were getting approved. Most of them were getting seen. We were getting feedback pretty quickly. For being shut down, things were still going smooth. So we saw, the VA saw about 1.1 million cases through PACT Act, you know, last year, 2024. This year, 2025, I'm sure it'll be just as much. And we're hoping that we'll see many of those coming through our door so that we can help our brothers and sisters. One happy note that everybody's been asking about, and they come through is cost of living allowance, okay? So this year, we're gonna have a 2.8% cost of living allowance for benefits, and that's across, okay? So you have your disability benefit payment, and then that 2.8 will be on your check monthly across, and also for the other benefits that the VA awards. You will have that cost of living allowance also, okay? So also with that, we have enhanced special allowances such as automobile allowance, clothing allowance, and more, okay? Currently, it's approximately $26,417 toward a specially equipped vehicle, excuse me. Also have clothing allowance. Clothing allowance is about $1,024. If you wear an apparatus, if you have supports, if you wear use other type of lotions, creams for pain to help you be more comfortable, you may qualify for these types of benefits to help you along. It's pretty expensive out there buying new undershirts or whatever you have to use to be able to keep yourself comfortable from staining, or ripping, or wearing down when you're wearing a back brace. Okay, so if you need any type of support, whether it be a vehicle or your clothing or getting braces, come see us and we can help you apply. God willing, everything will work out and you will get some assistance for that also. So disability compensation service for service-connected benefits. This is what comes through my office doors every day. The majority of what we see are compensation benefits. These compensation benefits are a lifeline for many veterans to help them, edge the gap there. Some people can't work. Some people rely on only their disability benefits. So again, with PACT Act, we encourage everybody to come through and apply. You may not think you would qualify. You may not think it's anything, but you'd be amazed what you could be able to support on that disability claim and have awarded, okay? You may have yourself denied at first, but you all know a lot of our brothers and sisters, Augie and everybody, know that you have to push and push and push. And most of the times, my staff, Lorena, they will get things done. They will get things taken care of for you, okay? So don't ever give up. And with that, I just wanted to share, since we're coming here to the end of the year, with being aggressive, not giving up, never saying that's enough, or just keep on trying. Our office here was able to collect $1.7 million of back pay for this year for our veterans. That means that we had, thank you. We were able to go back and continue to fight and continue to work on behalf of our veterans maybe a year back, maybe 2 years back, maybe months back, to be able to get these awards granted. Lorena, you all know that she asked, just bring me some information, bring me more doctor support, bring me some more things, and we'll put it through. All they can say is no this time, but they'll say yes. Most of the time they'll say yes. So on top of that, so our monthly assistance that we are now getting for our veterans to December 3rd, last week, it's $454,060 of monthly benefits, new benefits that are coming to our veterans. So that's pretty good. Hopefully we can just continue to grow on that and get more. Going on, support for low-income and elderly or permanently disabled veterans as pension benefits. You may not be a service-connected veteran. However, if you are in need, if you are a low-income veteran and you feel you need some support, you feel you need help, come to us. We can help you as far as asking the VA to listen to you, to hear you out, give us your information. We can apply for pension for you, for dependents, spouse, widow, etc. Different types of pension to be able to give monetary support if you need it. Okay, so it's not just if you got hurt, whether it be in peacetime or in war. If you are a veteran and in need of help monetarily, come see us, come ask us. We will try to find an answer for you, whether it be through the VA or other support from our community, okay? Trying to find help with a job, trying to find help with just help stabilize you one way or another. We will continue to help you. Housing, home loan assistance, employment services, like I was just growing on what I was talking about now. Everybody knows a VA home loan. If you need to get a VA home loan letter of eligibility, come see us. We can help you with that. If you can't maneuver through your own VA online portal, or you want to have it before you go looking, just as added support for yourself, please come to us. We can get you your letter. If you are in need of in-home service, if you feel that you are ready, or if you are the family and feel that a veteran that you have is ready for extended services, in-home services, there are many VA homes here in the state of California that have space available, that can take care of you, that can give you around-the-clock help, okay? Medical help, nurses here to help you out. Come to us, we can help you apply. Families come to us, we can help you apply, and we can make sure you're taken care of. One thing that the VA was able to do this year that I saw that was really good was stronger outreach, giving more support for outreach, sending out more information to veterans and veteran services groups to help get the word out. There's even faith outreach now for veterans. If you are a person of faith and you want to grow, they're actually even giving out information and support for that as well. So if you feel you need some added support, you can come to my office. We can help you find the right path, what kind of support you need, point you in the right direction, or even give you a community group here that may be able to help you with what you are looking for. And ultimately, with the PACT Act and with Veteran Services and the expansion that the VA or Veterans Affairs has done is inclusivity. So now it is, for instance, it's not just exposure while at war. If you were exposed to toxins while during peacetime, if you were exposed to toxins just changing duty station for something, you are also being looked at and helped. They will do screenings. They will help you to try to see where that exposure had taken place. For instance, Camp Lejeune, El Toro, wherever it may be, Marine bases, because that's where I was at, Pendleton. If you worked on a flight line, you were exposed to, jet fuel. You were exposed to hydraulic fluids. You were exposed to, things in the water or things in the air, whatever it may have been, okay? On your skin, on your clothes, whatever it may have been. Not just in wartime, but in peacetime. You are now included in that probability that it was due to exposure, okay? So don't think that you are excluded now. You are able to qualify. All it takes is a reach out and ask, okay? Especially with mental health conditions. If you are in need of help with mental health, please, please, please ask us at our office. Ask Lorena. If you want to ask Lorena, or if you want to ask myself, we are more than happy to sit with you to help you find the answer. Call somebody that is able to get there. And with that, I just wanted to, again, thank you all for the support in the community. We are in El Centro on 10th and State, in La Casita. Everybody knows it by. And we can help you there anytime. Give us a call, schedule an appointment, because we want to make sure that you have our undivided attention and nobody can interfere, and you have everything you need ready to go, and we'll get it done for you. Okay? With that, thank you very much again. Thank you, Congressman Reese, for having me, and hopefully we'll see you again next year. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Semper Fi, brother. As we conclude tonight's Veterans University, we want to express our sincere gratitude to our presenters, community partners, and especially our veterans and their families. Your service and presence here tonight means a lot. Please remember that resource tables will remain open until 8 p.m., so please feel free to walk around and continue visit with the different organizations. We're going to welcome back Congressman Raul Ruiz for his closing remarks.
Thank you all for coming once again, and for participating. I hope we spread the word. If you have any suggestions as to what questions, what issues, what benefits you would like us to bring in next year to discuss, we have a lot of variety of age groups. There's some younger veterans who would benefit perhaps from looking at some of the housing benefits or the GI Bill or anything to help them start a small business, or benefits through the Small Business Administration. There's other veterans who may want to start planning for their widow benefits or caregiver benefits for their families. So I'm here to serve you, and this is for you. So the more that we can talk about these, let us know what was helpful, what wasn't helpful. We'll do our best to accommodate the needs of the veterans here in Imperial Valley. There's already talks about the local VA and lags in getting their transportation benefits in time, the high turnover of doctors in the local VA here. So even some of these issues that I may not be aware of now, talk to me, my staff. We can look into them for you. And we can also invite the San Diego VA leadership here to listen to you directly. That would be something good that we can do together. And look, I think that all of us have gone through barriers to get to where we're at. All of you, barriers, or have gone through resistance in some shape or form that you've overcome to continue your service, to continue to be here. Today we had a little resistance, and I know that for many of you, it can be triggering, especially for our Vietnam veterans. And so it breaks my heart that many of you perhaps gone through that today with the protesters. But mark my words, it will never deter me from fulfilling my mission, which is to serve you in every capacity that I have, whether a physician, a member of Congress, a son of our communities, someone from here, like you, with migrant farm worker parents. I'm here to serve you regardless of whatever obstacles come in the way, because I'm determined to do that, just like you were determined to fight for our country and to be there for me before I was even born. Many of you, some of you not, because I see some young veterans here. So thank you again for your determination. Thank you for all the veterans that are serving other veterans. Thank you for still believing and for making this another great Veterans University. Please take your time and talk to the different tables, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you.